Boxing is definitely a sport where men put it all on the line on a continuous basis. You don't play the sport of boxing. You may participate in it, but there are times when you can walk away the worse for wear. And on Friday, June 7th, we got a chance to see the return to the ring of Adrian Broner as he took on Blair Cobbs. This was a showcase for both men who were looking to throw their hats back into the arena of the sport. But though Broner did not come away with the win, he did come away with something to consider going forward in this sport, and he may want to rethink things before getting in the ring again. So let's talk about what I'm talking about. The welterweight fight that took place between Adrian Broner and Blair Cobbs was a fight that saw two men, same age, different paths, and different positions in their careers, come together to try to sort things out between the two. And though Cobbs has come away with a unanimous decision victory over Broner, Broner left this fight with more questions and a register of not necessarily excuses, but remnants of what it really means to be dedicated in the sport. What we're hearing is, and this information is coming courtesy of Dan Ambrose for Boxing News 24. Broner has left this fight with an assortment of injuries. He has come away not only with another loss on his record, but he's come away as damaged goods, banged up, so to speak. And when we talk about it, over his last few fights, Adrian hasn't been as active as he may have need to be. And though he's had some success, he's had some outstanding failures because his talent alone should have placed him in higher status. Blair Cobbs should have been someone that he could come in, utilize experience, and expertise against turning back a young upstart, so to speak, though they be the same age. That was not the case. In their fight, Broner found himself on the canvas as early as the second round from a straight left down the pipe from Blair Cobbs. And though he got up and tried to pursue Cobbs, he never operated behind an effective jab. He never got off any effective body work. He never put Cobbs in peril, something that he should have been able to do. And so now we're hearing in the aftermath about what he really came away with outside of another loss on his record. The article goes as such. Adrian Broner, who's now 35-5 with 1 draw and 24 KOs, revealed that he suffered an elbow fracture and torn shoulder in his 10-round unanimous decision defeat against fringe welterweight contender Blair Cobbs, who's 17-1 with 1 draw and 10 KOs, on Friday night at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Unsurprisingly, the 34-year-old, out-of-shape-looking Broner was injured, as he was covering up a lot during the heavy barrages from Cobbs during the contest, taking shots on his arms and shoulders while he shelled up. Broner's low activity level allowed Cobbs to hit him at will without worrying about anything coming back, and that resulted in AB taking more punishment than he would have if he were letting his hands go. The scores were 97-91, 96-93 twice. After the fight, Broner was in denial about loss, believing he'd won, and said he'd be back, which suggests to some that he's hurting for money and can't afford to retire. Broner's friend, former welterweight champion Andre Berto, said in an interview that he spoke to Adrian in the dressing room and thinks he broke his hand. He would be going to the hospital. Elbow fractured, shoulder torn, but I fought through it. See y'all soon, said Adrian Broner on social media, revealing that he fought Blair Cobbs with injuries last Friday night in Hollywood, Florida. It was tough to watch. I wanted to see my boy come out with a victory tonight. He was out there for a while. I think he made the fight a lot harder than it was supposed to be, said Berto, reacting to Broner's loss to Cobbs. In the past 10 years, Broner has looked poor even while active, and it's obvious to some that his fight with Marcos Maidana in 2013 took something out of him. Moreover, Broner has enjoyed the fruits of his labor in between fights and doesn't appear to have worked hard enough at his craft in the last decade to stay on top. He, Broner, was probably not letting his hands go enough. I just left the dressing room. I think he broke his hand. So he's going to the hospital. That's the fight game. He's a person that gave us tremendous fights for a lot of years, said Berto. I'm going to stop reading right there. You can catch the article. The link will be in the description box. But my sentiments on Broner coming away with injuries. It also has been alleged that he lost a tooth in the fight, and that was one of the reasons that his mouthpiece kept falling out. You're supposed to keep your equipment in at all times, but sometimes if your jaw or your teeth, gums are compromised, fighters will have a difficult time of maintaining a bite on their gum shields. Broner has allowed too much of his youth in the sport and talent to progress in the sport. His outside the ring antics, his whole mental approach has been questionable. We've seen this again with other fighters. He is not the first and will not be the last. But the thing about making excuses for not being at your best, that's not going to assist you in being the best that you can be, or even being equated with those who are considered the best. I often talk about accountability, and amongst today's young fighters, there seems to be none, whether it's accepting that they were just not good enough to prevail, or denying that they may have incurred cheating or compromising their integrity or the sport itself. So at some point, we're going to have to see a change. And we will, because there's a new generation of fighters who are coming up ready to take the place of these old guards who really don't stand on much merit. And it's unfortunate because quality fights could have been made to really entertain the masses and give the people what they really crave when it comes down to watching boxing. But for some, it was just an opportunity to secure a bag. For others, it has been an opportunity to secure legacy. Somewhere in between it all, Adrian Broner has found himself. And hopefully, as he moves away from the sport, he can truly find himself. In the meantime, the rest of us will be looking to find someone to replace. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about AB and his excuses about being injured coming out of this fight. What do you think? Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.